What if you have an amazing and strong singing voice, but you don't even realize it? This is one of the reasons why I love teaching students how to sing, because I have students come in thinking that they're beginners, thinking that they have no talent, that they have nothing to offer. And then all of a sudden they just completely come out and bloom and just hit the notes that they've always wanted to hit and sing the songs that they've always wanted to sing. Well, here is how you can get out of your own way in 2026. So we tell ourselves so many myths about singing, that singing has to be hard, that we need to have talent, that in order to hit those higher notes, we just have to strain as much as we can, and whoever can like really push up there is going to be the best singer. And that's actually not the case. All of your favorite singers, songwriters, artists, they've all trained their voices to make it much easier to hit the notes that you and I really want to hit. So the reason why this training is so effective is because it helps you relax your throat a lot. It helps you keep everything nice and grounded, and it actually gets into the natural instincts of your voice. So when you're training your voice, it shouldn't feel like you're striving for this external thing, right? We don't want to feel like we're pushing or we're reaching, because if you think about it, these singers are performing sometimes 8 shows a week if they're on Broadway, sometimes even more if they're a touring artist, and performing in stadium shows and just all over. So it's so important that we keep this in mind when we're training, because our goal as singers is to make things as easy for ourselves as possible. It's not to see how much we can strain or how much we can push. So couple things that can really help you do this is to check your vowels and make sure that when you're singing that you're not swallowing your words or swallowing your vowels. For example, if we were to sing the line, I love you, if we were to sing I love you like I love you or I love you, right? We're really squeezing it in, like I love you, because normally when we speak it we would say I love you, right? But when we're singing it, we need to kind of rely on the vowels a little bit more to make it sound much more open and feel easier for us as well. I love you. See how I really held on to that ah vowel there? That's going to be so important to make your life a lot easier. The next thing that you can do to really help your voice is to learn about mixed belting. So the best way to describe mixed belting is to really break our voice down into 2 components, chest voice and head voice. So these are going to be the 2 main places that we sing. There is no other mode really that we sing in. Obviously there's like vocal fry and then there's really high whistle. Those are 2 other registers, but for our purposes and what most people are singing in, even our favorite singers, are just head voice and chest voice. So if we focus on these 2 components, there are ways that we can make the chest voice sound like the head voice and the head voice sound like the chest voice. So why is this important? Because our chest voice is a little bit more deep, a little bit more rich, sometimes takes a little bit more energy to achieve. So it's harder to use this energy up in our higher range. We feel like we're pushing or straining. So usually that's what's happening when you are pushing these higher notes, is you're using mostly chest voice, or the voice that we speak in. Hey, but what if we flipped into head voice? Hey, so much easier, right? But it still doesn't really sound exactly the same, and you could feel and hear that flip between registers. So what if we made that head voice a little bit brighter, a little bit heavier, to make it sound like chest voice? It's almost like chest voice in disguise. So let's try this on a hey slide. Hey. You could hear a little bit of that break in my voice. So let's try it again. Let's smooth it out. Hey. That's why these sliding warm-ups are so helpful, because it helps us to transition back and forth between chest voice and head voice. We need to transition our voices. Otherwise, we're just going to be pushing in one register the entire time. So this is the trick that your favorite pop stars do. So for example, Ariana Grande is a big mixed belter, right? So she goes, all I'm trying to say is you're my everything, baby, right? So she's getting up into that mixed relaxed voice. So it sounds belty-ish, but it's really just in the head voice. And she's not straining. She's not pushing. She just has really good technique. So really all it is when you want to figure out your voice and see what's underneath there, you need to learn how to adjust with these different registers. So the best way, as I mentioned before, to approach your singing training is to try to get to your natural placement as possible. So this includes when we are belting from that heavy chest belt. If we're doing hey, 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 for example, if we were to not really give it that much energy, hey, 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 we're kind of clenching here. If we just let it out, almost like we're speaking, hey, 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 it's going to make it a lot more effortless. Like, hey, what's going on? That's the energy that we should be in when we're approaching singing. It's this speech energy. And in between songs or in between these lyrics that we're singing, if we can kind of get back into this like speech-like singing. So for example, I'll tell the whole world, top of our lungs, in that song. How do we make it so that it's a lot more effortless, right? So that we're not singing, I'll tell the whole world, top of our, I'm already out of breath. I'm already out of energy. So how do we just take all of that away and we just make it so speech-like? I'll tell the whole world. A trick that I like to do with this is if we ever feel like we're giving too much or we're singing through something a little bit too much or we're pushing more than we need to, just speak it. I'll tell the whole world. Like you're just really bored. Let's try it again. I'll tell the whole world. Now we're going to connect a little bit more with more of a melodic sound. I'll tell the whole world, top of our lungs. Exactly. So that's how we combine these two elements to make it sound more speech-like. And the biggest thing that we can do to rewire our mindset is to really feel like our voice, the voice that we've always dreamed of, is inside. It is always there. And that's what I tell students pretty much always during our first lesson is like, I could hear this tone in your voice. How can we bring it out? How can we allow it to be free? So if we're singing like this, there's a fire starting in, how is this gonna like give us the sound that we want, right? Like just physically looking at how we are producing this sound, right? So how are we singing, there's a fire? I call this clenching. We don't want to clench when we sing. So someone can have an amazing voice underneath all of that clenching and all of that tensing. So how do we just relax everything? There's a fire. That's the same sound that I just did, but with a relaxed jaw. So a tip for this is I would suggest placing one finger here, not dragging it down, but just enough so that you're touching it, so that it just feels the weight of gravity and you're feeling this vertical shape here in your mouth, right? A lot of people like to sing like this because some people speak like this. I also speak like this too. But when I'm singing, I need to get into a more vertical shape. There's a fire starting in my heart. That is so much more open, so much more relaxed. The same thing goes for our tongue pulling back. We want to make sure that it's nice and relaxed. The same thing goes for our shoulders lifting and dropping. We want to make sure that they're nice and relaxed always. So even just relaxing physically is so important to your voice. So all of these factors, if we take away those closed vowels, if we take away all the tension, if we add more energy, like the energy that we would use to call out to someone across the room. These are all natural instincts that we could tap into that can really change our voice, and not even just change it, but bring it out and bring it to life and bring it to light, right? I always say that the best voices are just like hidden underneath all of that. So find ways to bring your voice more forward, more bright. Think about focusing your sound into the mask. And I want to see if by adjusting those things that you'll realize like, wow, I actually have a lot of potential for my voice. It's crazy how much we can just get out of our own head, get out of our own physical like bodies and just really free up our sound. So if you are looking to continue your vocal training, I am taking on one-on-one clients, but I would also recommend the Voice Gym, which is an awesome monthly subscription program for anyone who wants to really learn about their voice, learn vocal technique, and uncover your true voice that you have. Like I said, there could be something really special there. Thanks for watching.